This is the Edexcel June 2019 Foundation Tier, Paper 3, and that's a calculator paper. Question 1 says write 478 to the nearest hundred. So at the moment we've got 4 in the hundreds column, and when we're rounding to hundreds, we look at the next one down, the next column down, the tens. So in the tens we've got a 7, and when we're rounding we ask, is it 5 or above? So yes, it is 5 or above, so that means we round up. So we're going to round our hundreds column up. So it's 4 at the moment, it goes up to 5 500. It's closer to 500 than it is to 400. Question 2, write down a multiple of 8, so something in the 8 times table that is between 41 and 60. 5 8s are 40, so that's too low. So we want 6 8s, 6 lots of 8, which is 48. Remember, we've got a calculator, so we can use it. 6 8s are 48. So that's between 41 and 60. So we can write 48. And we can also use 7 8s. So 7 8s are 56. So that is also between 41 and 60. So either 48 or 56 will get us the mark for this question. Question 3. Change 1.5 kilometers to meters. Whenever we have a kilo, a K, that means 1,000. So kilometers are 1,000 meters. So 1.5 thousand meters, 1.5 times 1,000 is 1,500. Question 4, here is a list of numbers. From the list, write down all the numbers that are powers of 3. So that's 3 to the power of 1, or 3 to the power of 2, or 3 cubed, and so on. So 3 to the power of 1, we've got a calculator, so we can check. That's, well, 3. 3 squared means 3 times 3, which is 9. And 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3. Again, we've got the calculator, so we can use it. We can write 3 cubed, and that's 27. We can also check 3 to the power of 4 to see if that's on the list, and that's 81. That's too big. It's bigger than all the numbers on the list. So which numbers here have we got? We've got a 9 and a 27. So we need to write down 9 and 27. Question 5. Write 19% as a fraction. So 19%, a percent means out of 100. So 19% is 19 hundredths. But again, the calculator will do this for us. If we write 19 and then the percent button, press equals, we've got 19 hundredths. And we can also have a decimal as well if we click the S to D button. Question 6, work out 20% of 80. So when we see this of, we can change that to a times. So we can write 20% times 80, and the calculator will do it for us. So 20% times 80, and that is 16. If we didn't have a calculator, we could have said 10% is the same as dividing by 10. So 10% is 8. So 20% must be 2 lots of 10%. So 16. Question 7. There are 4 types of counter in a bag. the table shows the number of each type of counter in the bag. So we've got red circles, red squares and green squares. There are more green counters than red counters. How many more? So how many green counters do we have? So green, we have 26 plus 7. So 26 plus 7 is 33. And red counters, we've got 16 and 11. 16 plus 11 is 27. So how many more do we have? Well, if we do 33 take away 27, we get 6. So there are 6 more green counters. Question 8. Here is the gauge for the fuel tank of a car. So it says it's 1/4 full. The full tank holds 52 litres of fuel when it's full. So in total, the full amount is 52. We've got 1/4. How many more litres are needed to fill the tank? So we can work out what 1/4 is and find out how much is in it at the moment. So 1/4 of 52. 1/4 of 52 is 13. So that's how much is in at the moment. How many more litres of fuel are needed to fill the tank? So 52 is full. So 52 take away what's in at the moment. 52 take away 13 is 39 litres. We could have also said we need 3/4 more to fill the tank. So we could have said we need 3/4 of 52. And that would have given us our 39 litres. Question 9. Simplify 4e plus 6f plus 7e minus f. So here we're collecting the like terms. We can only add e's to e's, and we can only add or take away f's to f's. So our e's, we've got 4e and a positive 7e. And for our f's, we've got a positive 6f. We're always taking the sign from in front of the term, and a negative f. So for our e's, we've got 4e plus 7e. 4 of something plus 7 of something makes 11 of something. So we've got 11 e's. And for our f's, we've got 6 f's. Take away 1 f. 6 of something take away 1 of something is 5 of something. So we've got 11 e's plus 5 f's. Question 10. Bill has 400 counters in a bag. He gives 35 of the counters to Samina, 50 of the counters to Henry, 75 of the counters to Lucas. What fraction of the 400 counters is left in Bill's bag? So how many counters are left? Well, 400, take away 35, take away 50, take away 75. So how many counters do we have? So we'll type this into the calculator. So we have 240 counters left. So what fraction are left? So 240 are left out of the 400. So 240 over 400. The question says give your fraction in its simplest form. So we're going to let the calculator do the simplifying for us. 240 over 400 is 3/5. Question 11. The table shows the costs of sending a parcel by the express service and by the rapid service. Brendan has to send 12 parcels. It will be cheaper to send the parcels by the express service than the rapid service. How much cheaper? So we're sending 12 parcels. So for the express, it's going to be 12 times £15.25. 12 times £15.25 is 183. £183. For the rapid service, we've got 12 parcels again, so 12 times, and this time the cost is £35.38. So 12 times £35.38 is £424.56. So the question said, how much cheaper is it? So how much, what's the difference between these two? We're going to take away. So 424.56, take away 183. So £424.56 is already in the calculator. So I'm going to leave that in there. So we're going to have the answer take away 183, which is £241.56. Luke wants to send 21 parcels by the express service. He does the calculation 20 times 15 equals 300 to estimate the cost. Explain why Luke's calculation shows the actual cost will be more than £300. So he's rounded both numbers down. So the actual calculation would be 21 times £15.25. So he's rounded the number of parcels down and the price down. So the actual answer is going to be below. This estimate is going to be below the actual answer. So the reason is he rounded them both down. He rounded the number of parcels and the cost of each down. Question 12. Ali, Ben and Kathy share an amount of money in the ratio 6 to 9 to 10. What fraction of the money does Ben get? So Ali, Ben and Kathy. So Ben gets 9 parts out of how many parts in total? Well, 6 and 9 and 10. 6 plus 9 plus 10 is 25. So he's got 9 25ths. 9 parts out of 25 parts in total. Question 13. The first term of a sequence of numbers is 24. The term-to-term rule of this sequence is add 8. So add 8 to the previous term. Josie says no number in this sequence is in the 5 times table. Give an example to show that Josie is wrong. So the first term is 24. Then we add 8 for the next one. So 24 plus 8 is 32. And then we add 8 again. So the next term is 40. And 40 is in the 5 times table. So 40. Is 85 a number in the sequence? Give a reason for your answer. So all of the numbers in the sequence are going to be, well, they're going to be in the 8 times table, and 85 isn't in the 8 times table. Or we could say they're all even, and 85 isn't even. Or, again, we could just keep on adding 8 every time and show that 85 is not in the sequence. So I'm going to put no, and I'm going to write all the numbers in the sequence. So either they're all multiples of 8 or they're all even. Are even. Question 14. Find the value of 5.27 plus 3.5 over 7.9 minus 4.36. Give your answer as a decimal. Write down all the figures on your calculator display. So we're just going to type this in the calculator. I'm going to press the fraction button first, and I'm going to write it exactly how it looks in the question. So 5.27 plus 3.5 on top, and 7.9 minus 4.36 on the bottom. So give your answer as a decimal. So we've got 2.4774, 2.47740113. Let's just check that. 2.47740113. Question 15. You can use this rule to work out the total hire charge in pounds for hiring a 3D printer for a number of weeks. So it's the total hire charge is the number of weeks times 70 plus 50. Mia wants to hire a 3D printer for 4 weeks. Work out the total hire charge. So it's 4 times 70 plus 50. 4 70s plus a 50. £330. Zahir hires a 3D printer. The total hire charge is 680. So it's 680 equals the number of weeks times 70 plus 50. How many weeks does he hire it for? So we've got 70 weeks, or 70 times the number of weeks even. So 70 times the number of weeks plus 50 equals 680. So how many weeks is going to make this equal 680? So we can solve this. I've changed it into an equation. I'm going to solve it by taking 50 away from both sides. So I've got 630 equals 70W. 680, take away 50 is 630. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 70. So 630 divided by 70 equals 9. So it's 9 weeks. So 9 times 70 plus 50 equals 680. Question 16. Here is a rectangle, and we've got a six-sided shape made from two of these rectangles. Work out the perimeter. So we've got a 6, a 4, a 6, a 4, a 6, and a 4, and this little bit here. So the long length is 6, the short length is 4, so the difference between them is 6 take away 4, which is 2. So the whole length is 6, the part of it that's not in the perimeter is 4, so what's left is 2. 6 take away 4 is 2. So then we're just adding up all the lengths now. So we've got 3 6s. We've got, so 1, 2, 3 6s, 1, 2, 3 4s, and a 2. So 3 6s, 3 4s, and a 2, 32 centimeters. Question 17. The accurate scale diagram shows a telephone box and a telephone mast and a box. So we've got a telephone mast and a box. The box has a real width of 1.5 meters. Find an estimate for the real height in meters of the telephone mast. So what we'll do, we'll get the ruler and we'll measure the width of the telephone box in the diagram. So we've got 1.8 centimeters. So 1.8 centimeters on the diagram is 1.5 meters in real life. So now we can measure the height of the mast. So we'll put the ruler against the mast, start at 0, measure it up, and that goes up to 10.8 centimeters. So what is 10.8 centimeters in real life? So what do you multiply? We can work out what we multiply 1.8 by to get 10.8. To work that out, we can do 10.8 divided by 1.8, which is 6. So to go from 1.8 to 10.8, we times by 6. The mast is 6 times taller than the box is wide. So we'll multiply 1.5 meters by 6. 1.5 times 6 is 9. So we can say that the mast is 9 meters tall. Question 18. The table shows information about the number of points scored by 30 students in a quiz. So we've got the number of points. So 4 students scored no points, 3 scored 1, 7 scored 2 points, 5 students scored 3 points, 6 students scored 4 points, and 5 students scored 5 points. Find the modal number of points, the most common number of points scored. So 7 students scored 2 points, and that's more than scored any other number of points. So the most common number of points scored is 2 points. Work out the total number of points scored. So to do this, we're going to multiply across the columns. So 4 people scored no points, 4 zeros, a 0. 3 people scored 1 point, so in total 3 ones are 3. 7 twos, which is 14. 5 threes, which is 15. There are 6 fours, which makes 24, and 5 fives, which are 25. So the total number of points is 0 plus 3 plus 14 plus 15 plus 24 plus 25. And that's 81 points. So I'm just going to write the working out here, and then 81 is the total number of points. Question 19, make x the subject of the formula. So that means make it x equals something. So we need to get x by itself. So the first thing we want to get rid of is this plus 4. To get rid of a plus 4, we do the opposite of plus 4, which is taking away 4. So we're going to take away 4 from both sides. So if I take away 4 from both sides of the equation, I get y minus 4 equals 2x. Now I want x by itself. I don't want it to be multiplied by 2. So I do the opposite of multiplying by 2, which is dividing by 2. So if I divide both sides by 2, I'll get x by itself, and it's equal to y minus 4 over 2. So x equals y minus 4 divided by 2. Question 20. The diagram shows a square ABDE and an equilateral triangle BCD. And it says work out the sides of an angle EBC. So E to B to C. So it's this angle here that we're working out. So every angle, well, the angles in a triangle add up to 180. In an equilateral triangle, we've got 3 equal angles, and 180 over 3 is 60. So we've got 3 angles of 60 degrees in the equilateral triangle. I'm just going to split this in half. So each angle in an equilateral triangle is 60 degrees. In a square, the angles are, well, they're right angles, they're 90-degree angles. And we've got a line cutting the square in half, which cuts the angle in half. So half of 90 is 45. So EBD must be a 45-degree angle. So in total, the angle EBC is a 45 plus a 60, which is a 105 degrees. Question 21. Liz goes on holiday to South Africa. Liz wants to change £850 into South African rand. She wants to get as many 200 rand notes as possible. The exchange rate is £1 equals 18.53 rand. Work out the greatest number of 200 rand notes that Liz can get. So £850, each pound is worth 18.53. So we're going to multiply by the exchange rate to see how many rand we're going to get. So 850 times 18.53. So that's 15,750.5. So 15,750.50. And we want to get, or Liz does, want to get as many 200 notes as possible. So how many 200s go into this? Well, we can divide by 200. We've got a calculator. We'll just press divide 200. So she's got 78.75. She can't have 0.75 of a note. So it's 78.75 something. So that means she can get 78 200 notes. So she can get 78 200 Rand notes. Question 22. In October, Sally drove 560 miles in her car. The car travelled 34.5 miles for each gallon of petrol used. Petrol costs £1.8 per litre, and 1 gallon is 4.55 litres. Work out the cost of the petrol the car used in October. So there's lots of parts to this. We've got 560 miles, and 34.5 miles is going to be a gallon. So if we divide by 34.5, we can see how many gallons of petrol. So 560 miles, each gallon does 34.5 miles. So we must have 16.23 gallons. And I'm going to leave that number in the calculator. So we can even store it. So on this calculator, that's shift store. On your calculator, it might just be store. And then I'm going to pick A. So that's how many gallons. Each gallon is 4.55 litres. So 1 gallon is 4.55 litres. So let's work out how many litres. So times by 4.55. So let's just times the answer by 4.55. I didn't really need to store that because I'm using the ANS button. So I've got 73.85 or 73.86. Put 6 litres. And we've got to pay £1 8p per litre. So we're going to times that answer again by 1.08 this time. Times 1.08. So we've got £79.76p. I've rounded to 2 decimal places because it's money. So 79.76. Question 23. Costcorp sells packets of mints to shop owners. On Monday, 3 shop owners buy mints from Costcorp. Each shop owner buys small packets, medium packets, and large packets. Okay, Alan buys 400 packets of mints. 32% are small packets. So I think, let's work these out. We're going to need to know this. So for small, we've got 32% of 400. So 32% of, so times 400, which is 128. For large packets, we've got 40% of 400. So 40% of 400 is 160. So the rest must be medium. So let's do, well, 400 packets in total. Take away the large and take away the small. So 400, take away 160, take away 128, So we've got 112 medium packets. Beryl buys 500 packets of mints, 3/10 of small packets. So for small, we've got 3/10 of 500. 3/10 of 500, which is 150. 1/10 are large, so 1/10 of 500, which is 50. Which means the medium packets must be 500 take away 150, take away 50, which is 300. And we've got Charlie as well. Charlie buys 150 small packets of mints, so that the number of small packets, the ratio of small packets to medium packets is 3 to 4. So it's 150 packets of small. How many medium? So we're going to multiply 3 by 50 to get 150. So if we multiply 4 by 50, 4 50s are 200. So 200 medium. We could work out the large. Let's look at the question. So it says work out the total number of medium packets. So the total number of medium packets, 112, 300 and 200. So we add them up, 112, 300 and 200. And that's 612 packets of medium mints. Question 24. Here we've got a Venn diagram. We've got set A, set B, and everything. So we just need to put the numbers into the Venn diagram. We'll start with the middle. So which numbers are in both A and B? So not 1, not 5, they've both got a 6. So 6 goes in the middle. And they've both got a 9. So 9 goes in the middle. A has also got a 1, a 5 and an 8. B has also got a 2. So what's left? Well, we've got 1, 5, 8, 6, 9 and 2. So what's left? We've got 3, 4 and 7. 3, 4 and 7. So we've completed the Venn diagram. The 3, 4 and 7, they're not in A and they're not in B, so they go on the outside. So the ones in A and B go in the middle. The ones in just A go in the A section. The not crossed over bit. The ones just in B go in the not crossed over bit of B, and the ones in neither go on the outside. So then the next question says a number is chosen from the universal set. So one of these numbers is chosen. Find the probability it's in the set A and B. This is the crossover bit, the bit in the middle. So this N means this crossover bit in the middle. So there are 2 numbers in the crossover bit out of 9 numbers in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2/9. Question 25. Katie invests 200,000 in a savings account for 4 years. The account pays compound interest at a rate of 1.5% per annum. Calculate the total amount of interest Katie will get, so just the interest, not the amount of money she's got, just the interest Katie will get at the end of 4 years. So we want to add on 1.5% per year. So we're going to have 100% plus 1.5% each year. So at the end of each year, we're going to have 101.5% of what we did in the previous year. And we're going to write that as a decimal. So 200,000 times 1.015. So to change a percentage to a decimal, I'm dividing by 100. So this is every year. To find out how much money we've got at the end of the year, we're going to multiply by 1.015. So it's times 1.015 for the first year, times again 1.015 for the second year, and again for the third year, and again for the fourth year. But instead of writing this 4 times, we can just put a power of 4. So the number of years is the power. And now we can just type this into the calculator. So 200,000 times 1.015 to the power of 4. So £212,272 and 71p. 212,272.71. So that's how much money we've got in the account, but we only wanted to know the interest. So let's take away the original 200,000, and what's left will be the interest, which is £12,272. £12,272 and 71p. Question 26. The table shows information about the heights of 80 plants. So we've got a table, we've got 7 plants between 10 and 20 centimeters, 13 plants between 20 and 30 centimeters, and so on. Part A says find the class interval that contains the median. The median is the middle number, the middle plants. So we've got 80 plants in total. The median plant is going to be, well, the 40th or 41st, 40th and 41st plants. So let's find what class interval they are in. So if we add a cumulative frequency column and add up as we go. So between 10 and 20 there are 7 plants. Up to 30 centimeters we're going to have 7 plus 13, which is 20. Up to 40 centimeters, so all the plants up to 40 centimeters, add on the 14, which is 34. And then all the plants up to 50 centimeters, we're going to add on the 12, which will take us to 46. So the 40th and 41st plant is in the they're both in the 40 to 50 group. So it's the median plant is between 40 and 50 centimeters tall. Part B says on the grid, draw a frequency polygon for the information on the table. So in a frequency polygon, we plot the midpoint against the frequency. So halfway between 10 and 20, the middle is 15. Halfway between 20 and 30 is 25. Halfway between 30 and 40 is 35. Halfway between 40 and 50 is 45. Halfway between 50 and 60 is 55. And halfway between 60 and 70 is 65. So we're going to plot the midpoint against the frequency. So 15, 7. So we're going to plot 15, 7. And the frequency on the frequency column, on the frequency axes, we're going up in twos every time. So 15, 7 is here. We've got 25, 13. So 25, 13. 35, 14. 35, 14. 45, 12. 45, 12. 55, 16. 55, 16. And 65, 18. 65, 18. So we've plotted the points. We're now going to join them up with a ruler. So join up each of these points with a ruler. And that is our frequency polygon. Question 27. Sean has drawn a time series graph to show the numbers in thousands of visitors to a fun park. So we've got this weird curvy line graph. Write down 2 things that are wrong or could be misleading with this graph. So let's look at everything that's wrong or misleading with the graph that Sean has drawn. So let's start with the scale for the number of visitors. So it's not consistent. It doesn't go up by the same amount every time. It's going up by 0.5s every time, and then it goes up by 1 at the end. So that's wrong or misleading, because it could make these differences look smaller than they are. So we can write the scale for number of visitors is not consistent. It does not go up by the same amount each time. Also, on that scale, it doesn't start at 0, and that makes the differences look bigger than they actually are. So we could also say the scale for visitors does not start at 0. So he's also used a curvy line when it would have been best to use a straight line. So we could also say he should have used a straight line. Have used straight lines. And then looking at the scale on the x-axis for the years, it's got 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So 1 is missing. You can assume that these are quarters of the year, but it doesn't say. So again, that's something else we can say. So we can say quarter 1 is missing. So Q1, the data is missing. So that there's no data for quarter 1. Or we could say there is no label for 2, 3, 4. There is no label for the 2, the 3, and the 4 on the x-axis or for the years. So any of those two of those would get us the marks. Question 28. The diagram shows a hexagon. The hexagon has one line of symmetry. So let's draw a line down here. So it's a line of symmetry. So this side is identical to this side. FA equals BC, so they're shown by the lines. EF is CD, shown by 2 lines. Angle ABC is 117, so ABC is 117. It's symmetrical, so we can say that FAB, or BAF, is also going to be 117. Angle BCD is 2 times CDE. So, and we have to work out AFE. So we'll call these X, that's what we're working out. And that's twice the size of angle CDE. So if X is 2 lots of this, let's call these half X. So this angle's X, or these 2 angles are X. These 2 angles are half X. And we need to work out the size. We need to work out X now, okay? So we've got the angles in a hexagon. It's a hexagon. So what do the angles in a hexagon add up to? So there are 6 sides. So we have n minus 2 times 180. There are 6 sides. This tells us the angle sum of any shape. So for a 6-sided shape, it's 6 minus 2 times 180. So 4 times 180 is 720. So 720 degrees is the total. And we've got 2 117s. And we've got 2 half X's and 2 X's. 2 half X's and 2 X's to add up to 720. So 2 117s, 2 half X's and 2 X's equals 720. 2 117s are 234. 2 half X's, 2 halves make a whole, and 2 X's, which is just 2x, equals 720. X plus 2x is 3x. Let's simplify that. 3x plus 234 equals 720. Let's get x, or 3x by itself, by taking 234 away from both sides. 720 minus answer. That's 486. So 3x's are 486. So x, if we divide both sides by 3, is 486 over 3, which is 162. Question 29. Jeremy has to cover 3 tanks completely with paint. So we're painting tanks. This is about surface area. Each tank is in the shape of a cylinder with a top and a bottom. So we need to know the surface area of a cylinder. So the surface area of a cylinder. So we've got 2 circles, 2 pi r squareds. The area of the top is pi r squared. The area of the bottom is pi r squared. So we've got 2 pi r squareds plus, and then this curved bit is the circumference of a circle, which is either pi times diameter or 2 pi r. So I'll put pi times diameter, either one of those. So the circumference for circle times the height. So times the height of the shape. So the surface area of this shape is 2 pi times the radius. So we've been given the diameter of 1.6. We need the radius, which is half a diameter, so 0.8. So 2 pi r squareds plus pi times diameter, 1.6, times the height, which is 1.8. So that's going to give us a surface area of the shape. And the question says, we've got 7 tins of paint. Each tin of paint covers 5 meters squared. Have we got enough paint to cover the 3 tanks? So let's work out this. Let's get our surface area. So we've got 2 pi r squareds, 2 pi r squareds plus pi times diameter times the height. So that's 104 over 25 pi. Or if we want a decimal, 13.06 and so on meters squared. So that's one tank. That's the surface area of one tank. The 2 circles added to the curved bit. We need 3 tanks. So we want 3 times our answer. So we've got 312 over 25 pi, or 39.2 meters squared. So that's how much paint we need. We've got 7 tins of paint. Each tin covers 5 meters squared. 7 tins, 5 meters squared each. That's 35 meters squared. So that's how much paint we've got. This is how much we need. So do we have enough? No, we don't. We need 39.2 meters squared. We've only got 35 meters squared, so we don't have enough. Question 30. Solve the simultaneous equations. So we're going to solve them by elimination. To do that, we either need to make the x's the same or the y's the same. So I'm going to make the x's the same. So I'm going to times the top equation by 3, and I'm going to leave the bottom one as it is. So let's multiply everything in the top equation by 3. So 3x times 3 will be 9x. We've got a minus 4y times 3 is 12y, and 11 3's are 33. And I'm leaving the second equation exactly how it is. So now I want to eliminate. I've got 9x and 9x. So I can eliminate by taking away. If I do 9x, take away 9x, it will be gone, it will be eliminated. So 9x take away 9x is nothing. Minus 12y, take away another 2y, is going to be minus 14y. And 33, take away 5, is 28. So minus 14y equals 28. I want y by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by minus 14. A positive divided by a negative is negative. 28 over 14 is 2. So y is negative 2. I need to find x still. So I'm going to substitute this in to one of my top equations. So let's use this one here. Let's use 9x plus 2y equals 5. So 9x plus 2y equals 5. And I know now y is negative 2. So I can change y into negative 2. So 9x plus 2 negative 2's equals 5. 2 negative 2's and negative 4. So 9x minus 4 equals 5. I want to get rid of a minus 4, so I plus 4 to both sides. 9x is 9, and now divide both sides by 9, x is 1. So x is 1, and y is negative 2.